What's up guys, I'm back again today with another video, and today we are back with knives. Today's knife would be a Reeve small Sabenza 21. And I've been reading a lot about and watching YouTube videos about people talking and sharing their opinion about this knife, having it being the quote unquote the best folding knife in the world, etc., etc. So I was really curious about how this knife really feels and the build quality and stuff like that. Now, this is by no means a review. It's basically me, sharing my opinion about how I feel about this knife. What can I say? As you can see in the background, there are a couple of other knives. I'll be comparing, brief comparison with this small Sabenza. Now, first of all, I won't be sharing all the specs and stuff. It's pretty. There are tons and tons of video out there that does that. What can I say? This knife, well, I'm not trying to say that this knife is not impressive. I have to admit this knife is actually quite well built. I understand why people have been raving about how good this knife really is, because it really is. It's a very good, well-made knife. But whether or not it's worth the rave and stuff like that, the people saying it's the best in the world and stuff like that, I don't think so. There are tons and tons of other knives out there that cost much less and have much better build and quality and superior material and stuff like that. That said, like I said, this is by no means a inferior knife. It is good in every way, but I just don't think that this knife really worth that much hype. I personally would actually love to carry this knife every day because of its size, and the quality, the craftsmanship, the rigidity, I guess, the solidness of the build of this knife, and the simplicity, I guess. Now, first of all, this knife is really it's quite small. Okay, as you can see, this is a small Sabenza, and it's quite thin as well, and it's quite simple. So meaning, there's not much to go wrong, I guess, in that sense. And it's quite straightforward. There's no bullshit kind of knife. Now, this knife do not use ball bearing pivot. They use washer pivot. Now, their washer are quite different actually, as far as I know. Their washer have holes in it, where most knife maker actually put ball bearings. You know how it goes, right? The washer goes like that, and there are ball bearings all around it. Now, with Reeve washer, instead of ball bearings, they have holes. So basically, their washers are filled with holes. Now, that is actually meant to contain the oil that you put on your pivot, which actually lubricates every time you open and closes it. So basically, it lubricates the pivot. Okay, genius idea actually. It works out perfectly. To my surprise, considering this is not a ball bearing, it's really smooth. Okay, now I understand what people are talking about, how this knife's action is so smooth, silky smooth, etc., etc., considering this is not a ball bearing. Now, obviously, because it's not a ball bearing pivot, it will not fall and close by itself, so I basically have to manually do that. Now, a quick comparison to the couple of knives that I have. These are all, locally handmade folding knives, and this is obviously not a folding knife. This is a fixed blade. But as you can see, they are excuse me. As you can see, these are all about the same size. I'll take this as a comparison right now. These have make a video of this knife before. Now, as you can see, this a quick comparison about the size. They're about the same size. I don't have all the specs handy, so I can't say. This is by Tito, a local knife maker, awesome guy. He is a freaking perfectionist, so his knives are actually really well made. As you can see, all the details and stuff like that are quite impressive. Now you compare this, let's just say I pay a fraction of what this knife really costs. Now this is a custom made knife and this is a production knife. Now the fact that, and this is carbon fiber, titanium, all right, these are all titanium. Both are frame locks. The material of the blade steel, please pardon me if correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is S35VN if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure what blade steel this knife uses, but this one also uses a washer pivot. This one as well, pretty much the same style of design. Milled pocket clip. This is stamped metal. Whether or not this is titanium, I don't know. I'm sorry. You know, generally speaking, they are quite the same in many ways, but and obviously this is made in the US, this is made in Indonesia. This is made by using state-of-the-art machinery, and this is all handmade, manual milling machines, drill, press, etc., etc. All right, so and then you compare that to this, which is the same maker as well, but this one is basically a prototype. There are flaws in it, you know, but you know, that's a liner lock, obviously, and this is by a different maker, also local Indonesian. Check that out. This is a fixed blade and features a Damascus handle scale. I cannot remember what this knife is using for its blade still, but I'm sorry, man. But generally speaking, you know, just to give you guys a quick comparison of what this Sabenza is comparing itself against, I guess. There are other knives that are in its price range that I should have made the comparison, but I don't have those. The only thing that I have that is comparable, I guess, in many specs, that is similar to this knife are those. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the stuff inside the box, etc., etc. But there you go, pretty standard Reeve stuff. I'm not sure if these are old models. I bought this brand new. It could be an old stock, but you know. Now, is it worth that much money? No. To be honest, I don't think so. But is it a good knife? Like I said, I would carry this every day, actually. Very good knife. Comfortable. But does that makes it worth that much money? I don't think so, definitely. But that's just my opinion. I think it's just overhyped, I think. But generally speaking, a very good well-built knife. As you can see that hole in that washer? That's what I'm talking about. Alright. I don't have much thing to say, actually, because there have been tons and tons of videos, like I said earlier, about this knife, so I'm not gonna bore you guys with repeating what everybody have already mentioned, I guess. So that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. Appreciate it. Appreciate watching this video. You know, let's give you guys a closer look at this beautiful knife. Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate the time watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Thank you. Bye-bye.